Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Siri Johnson. This is Smiling Wellness Journey Coaching, and today is a mind conversation day. I'm going to be sharing joy tolerance and what that means to me. So a while back I heard this wording, joy tolerance, and I thought that's weird that they go together. I'm tolerant of joy. In fact, I want all the joy in my life. But as I listened to the rest of this particular presentation and started to examine myself and watch other people, I came to believe that it really is a true thing. That each of us have individually decided unconsciously or consciously the amount of joy that we are going to allow ourselves to experience and what is okay for us to have in our lives, and basically our tolerance level with regards to joy. So let's unpack that. I'm just going to share some thoughts and it'll be fun. Yay! As I've inquired of myself and talked with some family members and some friends, something that comes up a lot is when we're experiencing joy or having happiness in our life, we're like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this. I feel guilty and I feel bad for having this much happiness and joy in my life when there is so much suffering and ickiness happening in the world. Or even if you have a circle of friends or people you know in your life that aren't experiencing the same level of joy, there's a level of guilt. So it's downgrading our own joy to sort of even out the playing ground because it feels somehow more fair. And I think that's actually quite a prominent reason that people only tolerate a certain amount of joy. Another topic that came up was, oh, I'm experiencing this joy and this happiness, but it's not going to last. And I'm just going to have to go back to my ho-hum, sort of mundane, maybe not as awesome life that is not as joyous. So it will just feel ickier to return back to that. So I'm not going to experience the joy that is happening right now because the difference between the two is so vast that I'm only going to tolerate a lower level amount of joy because it feels more even with the life that I'll be returning to after this joyous experience unfolds. I know it's been written in things and philosophy, but that being human is to suffer. Being human is to overcome obstacles and challenges. And it's somehow noble to overcome those sufferings. And even just the concept of the hero's journey, all of the things that come into play and then the overcoming of those. But that there's that sort of built-in sexiness, I'm going to say sexiness, that's that romanticism about being of suffering. And also, I mean, just think of all the songs that have been written that came from a place of darkness and woe and suffering, because they end up being very popular songs because there are a lot of people that see in themselves somebody that is expressing, oh, this is what it is to suffer, whether it's in love, heartbreak, or any kind of other experience that is the human suffering. You know, misery loves company. Yet at the same time, joy deserves some company too. And I think there's a lot of it available to us. So I want to share some ideas about how joy may become more available to us and to just start to watch ourselves. But I want to share a quick story about something that I know of myself that you may have in common with me, or you may not, but it's just a little bit of learning too. There's something called the Enneagram, Enneagram. If you want to find out more about it, you can find it anywhere. EnneagramInstitute.com is a really great place. But each of us, somewhere in our very small youth, decides how to navigate the world and how to create a coping mechanism to do life so that it's a little bit more manageable. There are 9 different types, and I am a 4. That is how I decided to go about the world. I wanted to be an individual, unique, out of the ordinary, special, from the way that I dress to the way that I communicate. I mean, it's definitely played out in my life, and it's a very good thing. It is part of who I am. But one of my pitfalls is prone to melancholy. Melancholy is sort of that seeing what is missing. The grass is always greener, seeing what is missing in my life and focusing in on that. And so it comes in with my joy tolerance, and you may have this as well, or parts of this in you. And I have 99 things going great in my life. They're like 92 to 100% awesomeness and joy, but then I got that one thing that sucks, or that it's a distant relationship, or something that's not working, and that's the one thing I'll focus on. And I will overemphasize that it brings down all these other 99 things, which is kind of ridiculous, but I watch myself do it all the time. So do you do that as well? Is this part of your personality to forget to see all of the amazing things and overemphasize and overfocus on that 1 or 2 things that is not great? And it's part of your joy tolerance. So just thinking about that, and I just wanted to share it in case it is true for you as well. I think the most important step with regards to joy is thinking about it. Bring joy into your viewfinder. Look at yourself. Look at what you learned growing up with regards to joy, what you decided about levels of joy and your joy tolerance. Sort of examine and have memories with regards to how much you tolerated it in your life and even what you're doing now. Bringing that awareness to your relationship to joy is going to open up new worlds for you. Awareness is the key. And when you tell yourself and your brain and your unconscious and subconscious and conscious mind to focus on it, you're going to start to unravel some of the pieces, especially if you're wanting to experience more joy than you are experiencing now. Because you'll start to see it in new ways. You'll start to see your default patterns of when you decide to squash your own levels of joy. And another step is simply allowing it for yourself. Allowing it to be okay to experience joy. Saying, you know what? I'm at 50% tolerance. I'm going to bring it up to 100% tolerance of joy, and it'd be great because then it might bump it up to 60% that you are allowing for yourself, because it may feel very new. If it is a default pattern to stamp on your levels of joy to feel less than joyful, and that's normal for you, that's actually going to feel more comfortable. So bit by bit, step by step, allow yourself to experience new levels of joy. Stay in the present moment. It's very easy for me to have a joyful experience and then all of a sudden go back into my past or history of, oh, this is similar to something else. Like, oh, what if this bad thing happens? I'm not allowing the joy to be lived in the moment. And if I go into the future and worry about what might happen if, that also takes away. So to be in the moment and fully experience what is happening right here, right now. And like I said before, allow yourself to experience it. Let yourself be tolerant of the awesomeness of joy. Final sort of note, giving you and yourself and myself permission to feel and experience joy and happiness gives other people permission as well. To say, hey, I've got the light within me and I'm feeling the joy, it helps other people see that that's available for them as well. And that is such a great gift. I'm not saying that there's not suffering in the world, and I'm not saying that there aren't bad things happening, because that would be ridiculous, because that's not true. There's going to be grief, there's going to be sorrow, there's going to be disappointment, there's going to be betrayal. I'm saying that these things exist and that they're going to happen, but joy's going to happen too. Share your experience of joy with other people. bring into their viewfinders your perspective on joy. And it may open their awareness of the joy that is available in their lives. So if you've got it, share it, because it's one of those things that multiplies. And joy loves company. That's what I think. So let it into your viewfinder, let it happen, allow it, embrace it, and go forth and spread joy. Okay, that's all I have to say. I really appreciate your tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. And if you are not a subscriber, I love new subscribers. It's just kind of fun. And all right, ciao, bye.